The SanDisk Extreme Pro 64GB memory card is the best thing for on-the-go 4K shooting. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and there has been something happening on YouTube over the course of the past few months that has really been impacting everybody. And that is the Adpocalpyse, the event that YouTube acknowledged exists, but won't actually go out of their way to talk with anybody about, or work to fix, or discuss, or to remind us that, hey, we are, people that, help keep this website going, and our opinions and our voices and our thoughts matter, and that they have our best interest in mind. They don't do any of that. In fact, it's one of those things where it's really disheartening to spend 5 years on a website you love, doing something you love, and then having it be there and then parts of it not being there. And I know it sounds selfish to say out loud, and I get that, but to many of us out there, this is our livelihood, and it's being fucked with, and we have no control over that. And we just want there to be more communication. And so today, YouTube kind of communicated a little bit more, right? In terms of what probably helped kick off the Adpocalpyse, which was back at the beginning part of the year, the BBC and also the British government as a whole pulled out of Google when it was discovered that a few of their ads were running on, well, extremist content, running on those kind of videos. And that was one of the things, one of the dominoes that fell over that led to where we currently are right now. And so today, they issued an update about trying to fight terror online. Their new commitment to battling against bad ideas and bad videos that are doing nothing to benefit anybody and only trying to cause hurt. Saying here, a little over a month ago, we told you about the 4 new steps we were taking to combat the terrorist content on YouTube. Better detection and faster removal driven by machine learning, more experts to alert us of content that needs review, tougher standards for videos that are controversial but do not violate our policies, more work in the counter-terrorism space. Now, here's the thing. The terrorist videos on YouTube that they're referring to here, they make it seem like it's a prevalent problem. They make it seem like it's a huge issue. It's really not. It's like less than 1/1000th of all the videos uploaded, of everything that they know of that's uploaded, that this is an issue. It is so minuscule that they have known about it for quite some time, but they just disregard it because they're like, it's like so small, like it's not doing anything. And so now, after the whole Wall Street Journal nonsense and the British government pulling their ads out because of this issue, of this small, minuscule issue that YouTube should have just been like, hey, it's really not that big of a deal. Now they find themselves having to basically become YouTube world police. And it's kind of sad, to be perfectly honest with you. So they say that we wanted to give you an update on these commitments. Better detection and faster removal driven by machine learning. We've always used a mix of technology and human review to address the ever-changing challenges around the controversial content on YouTube. We began developing and implementing cutting-edge machine learning technology designed to help us identify and remove violent extremism and terror-related content in a scalable way. We have started rolling out these tools, and we are already seeing some positive progress. Okay, as long as it is actually hitting the target, as long as it's actually a surgical strike and not like, a freaking bombardment. Okay, but I don't see it really necessarily being as surgical as they think it's going to be. It says here, speed and efficiency. Our machine learning systems are faster and more effective than ever before. Over 75% of the videos we've removed for violent extremism over the last month were taken down before receiving a single human flag. Accuracy. The accuracy of our systems have improved dramatically due to our machine learning technology. While these tools aren't perfect and aren't right for every setting, in many cases our systems have proven more accurate than humans at flagging videos that need to be removed. Scale. With over 400 hours of content uploaded to YouTube every minute, finding and taking action on violent extremist content poses a significant challenge, but over the past month, our initial use of machine learning has more than doubled the number of videos we've removed for violent extremism, as well as the rate at which we've taken this kind of content down. okay, so when it comes to this machine learning side of things, it feels like, you know, someone had mentioned to me that, oh, Candid, their technology is being used here. I don't know if I would say that. Their technology is being bought by another company, absolutely. But it's something very similar to this. These algorithms are always looking for certain things. But the question is, what does the machine look for? I'm sure they look for tags. ISIS, Syria, Islamic State, you know, whatever, the death to America, jihadism, all these kind of things. They probably look for those kind of tags and those kind of descriptions and titles and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the actual content held within the video, how are they able to detect it? If 75% of these things have been taken down without a single human flagging, how are they finding it? That is my question. Is it the YouTube Heroes program? Is that now coming into play? Where people are transcribing these things and they're putting those words in the algorithm in the machine that then gets detected? I have no idea. It's again, this isn't telling me anything that's actually going to benefit me as a creator or as an avid watcher of the platform. I understand they want to remove terrorism. I'm not against that. I'm all for it. But it's also like, how much stuff is going to get caught in the crossfire? And do you even care that you might potentially destroy someone's livelihood or someone's channel because of that, you know, friendly fire? Now, it goes on to say here that we are encouraged by these improvements and will continue to develop our technology in order to make even more progress. We are also hiring more people to help review and enforce our policies, and will continue to invest in technical resources to keep pace with these issues and address them responsibly. But the thing is, you're hiring people to handle a non-issue. That's the thing. Google's, like, one of their VPs said when the Adpocalpyse started that it basically was 1/1000th of the videos uploaded. It was so minuscule of a problem, they knew about it and just didn't care. And now they're looking to hire people to review, humans to review and enforce these policies. But, you know, but the policies on YouTube are so vague. You have no idea what those policies are, what they specifically entail. And it can be so easily misinterpreted for, you know, you could say on a mistake level or on a very personal attack level. And again, I'm just not a fan of that. Now it says more experts. Of course, our system is only as good as the data they're based on. Over the past weeks, we've begun working with more than 15 additional expert NGOs and institutions through our Trusted Flagger program, including the Anti-Defamation League, the No Hate Speech Movement, and the Institute for Strategic Dialogue. These organizations bring expert knowledge of complex issues like hate speech, radicalization, and terrorism that will help us better identify content that is being used to radicalize and recruit extremists. We will also regularly consult these experts as we update our policies to reflect new trends, and will continue to add more organizations to our network of advisors over time. You're working with the ADL? Like, how just completely irresponsible is that? You are literally going to an organization that deemed a goddamn cartoon frog as a symbol of the alt-right, as a Nazi symbol, that the Pepe was a Nazi hate symbol. That is who you're going to get help. That is ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. The same thing goes for people like Cat Black when she's like, I went and talked to Susan Wojcicki at YouTube's. It's like, so you go to Cat Black, a person who always cries the victim, who always cries wolf, all of these things? Like, that's what you're doing? Why not actually go and talk to people who are level-headed, rational, even-minded, and logical based. People that would look at the situation as objectively as humanly possible, not from the aspect of emotion or fear or anything else, and go like, this is what we recommend based upon these factors. Basically, you have to go find the most autistic motherfuckers you can and put them in a room and just go, find us the bad shit. And they'll be like, on it, and you get them on the scent. Like a pig that sniffs out truffles is a good analogy. Horrible analogy, but good analogy at the same time. And then they do that. Like, that's what you need, And just saying, like, maybe I shouldn't have said autistic, but at the same time, you guys know what I'm trying to say. It's like, you need something as dedicated as that, that's not going to be coming at this from an emotional based level. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't be looking at terrorism emotionally. I'm saying that when it comes to identifying the content, you have to remove that kind of emotion, that kind of fear, that angst, whatever, because yes, your personal experiences will help dictate how you view these things. And that is really, really, really annoying. Okay, tougher standards. We'll soon be applying tougher treatment to videos that aren't illegal but have been flagged by users as potential violations of our policies on hate speech and violent extremism. If we find that these videos don't violate our policies but contain controversial, religious, or supremacist content, they will be placed in a limited state. The videos will remain on YouTube behind an interstitial, won't be recommended, won't be monetized, and they won't have key features, including comments, suggested videos, and likes. We'll begin to roll out this new treatment to videos on desktop versions of YouTube in the coming weeks, and we'll bring it to mobile experiences soon thereafter. These new approaches will entail significant internal tools and processes that will take time to fully implement. Now, this has me frightened. This one right here has me frightened. The reason why it has me frightened is because this is a scenario where they could sit there and just go, like, someone like YouTube hero could look at one of my videos or one of my friends' videos and be like, I don't like what they're saying. I don't like that they're criticizing Islam, that they're criticizing religion, that they're criticizing Trump, that they're criticizing Transformers 5. They could, whatever reason, and they could flag it. And then if someone at YouTube is just like in a bad mood, right? This is very similar to how the MPAA operates. You know, they have kind of a set of guidelines that are, again, vague, but they kind of follow in that little wheelhouse. And the same thing applies to here, because YouTube is being vague about this, even in their terms of service. And they're like, well, maybe this one. I mean, granted, it does say here controversial, religious, and supremacist content. That clearly is referring to ISIS and clearly white supremacists. I get it. But what about the people that are on YouTube that are like the black extremists? What about Black Hitler Ghazi Kodo, who's up there saying all white people are evil and shit? Like, what, you know, all these things. Like, is that going to be considered supremacist content? Is that going to be considered under the same guidelines? I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, but it's a very valid question. And I can understand the demonetization of it if it goes against certain things, you know, if you're calling for violence on somebody or anything like that. But then again, free speech is something that has to be protected, and the argument there boils down to, like, but it is being protected because they're not silencing it, but they are restricting it via either removing of these features like comments and suggested videos and likes, which would then keep it down in the algorithm, therefore not getting it placed out anywhere else, or they're going to hurt it by, you know, or they're going to be silencing it by removing its monetization. It's one of those things. All right, early intervention, early intervention and expanding counter extremism work. This ought to be good. We started rolling out features from Jigsaw's redirect method to YouTube. When people search for sensitive keywords on YouTube, they'll be redirected towards a playlist of curated YouTube videos that directly confront and debunk violent extremist messaging. Okay, we'll get to that here. We also continue to amplify YouTube voices speaking out against hate and radicalization through the YouTube Creators for Change program. Just last week, the UK chapter of Creators for Change Internet Citizens hosted a 2-day workshop for 13 to 18-year-olds in order to help them find positive sense of belonging online and learn skills in how to participate safely and responsibly on the internet. We also pledged to expand the program's reach to 20,000 teens across the US. All right, I have to talk about this. Okay, the Creators for Change program. All right. This is Creators of Change program. Okay, I don't know a lot of people, but if you look at the, yeah, Francesca Ramsey is there, by the way. Francesca Ramsey is a creator of change. So you know, what do they say here? She is a YouTube vlogger and writer known for her unique voice, social commentary, and comedy. In 2016, she was one of 4 YouTube creators who asked live video questions of the U.S. presidential candidates at the Democratic debates in Charleston, South Carolina. In addition to making YouTube videos, she's a former writer and correspondent on Comedy Central's The Nightly Show and is currently a host of MTV's Decoded. MTV's Decoded, by the way, is some of the most race-baity shit I've ever come across on this channel or on this platform. It is so full of just nonsense, led by this person right here who is clearly acting as a female Al Sharpton to try to push her own narrative and her own agenda as a way of trying to, I don't know, get more popular and make more money, as we've seen from her own actions and shit following the events at VidCon. So yeah, so this is who they're bringing into the mix. This is who their Creators for Change program are. Now, the other thing here too is, for people searching for sensitive keywords on YouTube, will be redirected towards a playlist of curated YouTube videos that directly confront and debunk violent extremist messaging. Now, I'm not inherently against that, to be honest with you. I think that would be good. It's like you're looking for, you know, ISIS videos, and it's all like, here's why ISIS is bad. There are a ton of those videos. But the question is, who is going to be making that content? Is it going to be people like Francesca Ramsey? Because I guarantee she won't sit there and tell you why ISIS is bad. She'll tell you some of the reasons why, but she won't sit there and go into the full hardcore data about why it's bad. She'll give you some fucking softball answer and hope that it just turns you away. That entire playlist right there is probably going to be curated by people who won't ever actually dive into the issues. They won't look at the reason why that not just ISIS, but actual radicalized Islam is one of the worst things on the planet in this day and age. I'm not saying Islam as a whole is bad. I have nothing against the religion. I don't practice it. I don't support it, but I don't care. But when you look at radical Islam, you look at radical Islam in the United States, where we have 100 cases in Minnesota just recently of female genital mutilation. That's happening on this country's soil right now, and no one is saying a damn word about it. And if you do bring it up, you're branded an Islamophobe. Do you think that if anyone looks up female genital mutilation on YouTube, that there's going to be a video talking about how that's a bad thing? Or just as a thing, talking about sensitive keywords, what about male circumcision? Is there going to be videos debunking why that's necessary in this modern day and age, going against even religious edicts, so on and so forth? Also, my favorite part about that too, not haha, but just is the whole notion that enzymes found in foreskin go to help, you know, create women's face cream. So are those videos going to be there? I mean, who's going to be controlling this list and who's going to be able to actually discuss it? Like, that's the thing. Honest to God, the skeptic community, which is not a term I like to use very often, are the people to discuss these issues. They are the people, not this fucking, you know, nonsense created for change shit. All right, where it's clearly left-leaning bias, where there's clearly logical fallacies, all of these things that are thrown in there simply to try to sell you a product that would be their narrative. But the skeptics at least go through the data, they question everything as it is, and they will present the evidence to you as it is. And that is something that would be more valuable on an educational level and on a societal level than trying to give it to these people's, oh, Francesca asked questions at the Democratic National Convention. Oh my God, she's so good. She's so good. Like, no, who cares about that? Who cares about that? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's finish this up here. And over the weekend, we hosted our latest Creators for Change workshop in Bandung, Indonesia, where creators teamed up with Indonesia Marif Institute to teach young people about the importance of diversity, pluralism, and tolerance in Indonesia, a country that is 98% Muslim. Wants to talk about tolerance and pluralism and diversity. This is a country that canes and stones women for holding the hand of her boyfriend in public. This is what? And it's just, I'm not going to get into that shit. Like, cause I just feel like they're really going about this the wrong way. They're not pushing at this from a logical perspective. They want this from an emotional standpoint, which is not the way to go about this, period. Altogether, we have taken significant steps over the last month in our fight against online terrorism, but this is not the end. We know where there is always more work to be done. With the help of the new machine learning technology, deep partnerships, ongoing collaborations with other companies through the global internet forum, and our vigilant community, we are confident we can continue to make progress against this ever-changing threat. We look forward to sharing more with you in the months ahead. And I do hope they share more with us. I hope some of it's more logic-based than not. Right? I feel like this particular situation, it does say to me, and I will fully admit, I'm a little worked up about this because I've seen the changes that I've made. I've read the articles, I've read the reports, I've read the studies, I've read all this shit that has come out about, you know, online extremism on YouTube. Yes, there are problems there, and they do need to combat them, absolutely. But they need to combat them using logic and reason. Not left-leaning media personalities that are going to sell you a fucking defunct narrative that is easily disproven by a 5-second goddamn fucking Google search. That's not going to happen. But YouTube's not thinking that way because they're thinking outwardly. They're thinking this is a brand thing for them. This is them saving their ass with the advertisers. That's probably the best takeaway from this, is that this is them telling, this isn't for us, by the way. This little blog post here isn't for us. This is YouTube telling advertisers everything is a-okay. We got this covered. You can come back now. Because keep in mind, that was a big reason for this. It was the BBC finding their ads running on that, you know, extremist shit, and the British government pulling their advertising from Google Then you had the Wall Street Journal finding the McDonald's ad, the Toyota ad, and the Starbucks ad on that Chief Keef video, by the way, that only made $20.44 over a 6-month fucking period. And that's what caused everyone to pull out completely. Now, again, because it had to deal with the extremist content, was what they were arguing as being the key factor behind the adpocalypse. This scenario basically plays out like this. They're telling advertisers, we got it covered. This is how we're doing this. So it's entirely possible that this entire thing is just surface level bullshit. It's entirely possible that it's just like what their team has put together to do the bare minimum to bring advertisers back. Or it could actually be something akin to 1984. I don't want to make either claim just yet. All we can do now is wait and see what's going to happen next, and hope that it's the former and not the latter, because no one ever wanted 1984. Except now we're kind of living in a weird time where it seems like it might be headed that way. And, you know, just to kind of pull the old adage, it was a book, not a fucking instruction manual. Well, guys, that wraps up this video. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to toss it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit that subscribe. Also, hit that bell so you guys can be up to date on all the videos I post every single day on this platform. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been the Mundane Matt channel. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'll talk to you later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.